Nick Fallon on Days of Our Lives had a rough life even before he turned psycho. If you need a refresher on this doctor-turned-murderer, we've got you covered. The character first appeared in November 2006 and was played by actor Blake Berries until his exit in January 2009. In August 2012, he brought Nick back to Days, but the guy met a violent end in May 2014. However, the guy is slated to return from the grave for Halloween 2021. Nick Fallon arrived in Salem to get to know his Horton relatives, and his medical skills were put to the test as he helped save Kayla Brady's life. Smitten with Chelsea Brady, Nick chatted with her online using someone else's picture. Chelsea became interested in Nick in reality and was crushed to learn he'd been lying to her online. Heartbroken, Nick slept with Chelsea's mom, Billie Reed, but they both regretted their actions and vowed to keep it secret. Chelsea began to forgive Nick after he saved her from a rapist, but their growing closeness came to a quick end when she found out he slept with her mother. After Willow Stark accidentally set Bo and Hope's house on fire, she planted Chelsea's hairbrush at the scene, so Nick tried to help by stealing the evidence from the forensics lab. Grateful, Chelsea forgave Nick again and they began dating. But then Willow began extorting money out of Nick, threatening to expose his theft. He confronted Chelsea at the beach, and in the struggle, she fell and hit her head. Despite his best efforts, she died. When Roman Brady learned the truth about everything that had happened, he closed the investigation and left Nick and Chelsea in the clear. This wouldn't be Nick's first brush with the law. Paul Skipper/JPStudios.com While saving Samid Brady and Lucas Roberts from a bomb set by Drive, Rolf, he sustained head injuries and wound up in Las Vegas, where he married a woman named Cassandra Arvin. After she was arrested for soliciting, Nick was left with two boys who were not really her sons but just left in her care. This got him mixed up with some dangerous people and got Chelsea kidnapped before Nick released the kids to their parents. Nick and Chelsea reunited, at least until she fell for Drive, Daniel Jonas, and they split up. Nick began working as an associate professor at Salem University under Trent Robbins. Although he initially clashed with Max Brady, after learning that Trent was his abusive father, Nick agreed to help Max search for his long-lost sister, Melanie Layden. Nick found her and quickly developed a crush on the young woman. After being shot while rescuing her, Nick later became addicted to painkillers. When Trent was murdered, Melanie began receiving threatening messages saying they knew what she did to Trent in the cemetery. But the twist was that Nick was the one stalking her because he had killed Trent after he attacked Melanie in the cemetery. Nick was arrested and sent to prison, but thanks to everyone testifying on his behalf, he only got 2 to 5 years. In 2012, Nick was released on parole, but while Melanie was happy for him, she didn't want to get back together. Chad DeMera threatened Nick and even beat him up when he thought he'd done something to Melanie. Nick began dating Gabby Hernandez, and when she found herself pregnant with Will Horton's baby, he agreed to marry Gabby and help her raise the child. But at the church, Chad objected and exposed that Will was really the baby daddy. Later, Nick forced Will to sign over his parental rights to little Ariana, then made Gabby his wife. Gabby's first attempt to get rid of Nick failed, so she tried harder the next time. Howard Wise/JPStudios.com Nick and Gabby were kidnapped by his fellow inmate, Jensen, who it was revealed had repeatedly sexually assaulted Nick in prison. After Will and Sonny saved them, Nick agreed to put Will's name on Ariana's birth certificate. Nick's obsession with Gabby grew and he got her a modeling job in New York, hoping they could go together. When Nick attempted to rape her in the park, Gabby hit him with a rock, believing him dead. Sami and Kate helped Gabby dump his body in the river, but months later, he showed up at Ariana's baptism very much alive. He blackmailed Kate into giving him a job and forced Gabby to get back together with him, threatening to expose their crimes. Nick also tried manipulating Gabby into cutting Will out of Ariana's custody agreement and blackmailed DeMera. So when Nick was shot multiple times in May 2014, there were plenty of suspects in his murder. But by the end of the month, it was revealed that it was Gabby Hernandez who had killed Nick, and she served her time for the crime. Ad block test. Why?